Welcome to another edition of Tom's Real Food Podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you today by cast iron, butter, olive oil, steak, onions, and seasoning. Let's go back to the podcast. Hey everybody, welcome. I am Tom, Garvey the Keto Cook, and today we're on Tom's Real Food Podcast. This is number 3. I really do appreciate everybody for watching. And today we're going to get into a little bit more how to start keto and what to eat on the keto when you're keto lifestyle when you're first starting out. Now I call it a lifestyle because diet is a mindset that really can hurt people. No, I don't mean physically hurt them, but mentally can really put you in, make yourself feel bad. I don't want to do this anymore. This has been proven so far to be really healthy. So I call it a lifestyle. I fell off the wagon twice. I'm not afraid to admit it. And right now, that's why I'm growing this right here. I'm not going to shave until I get my blood numbers back to where they were supposed to be and my A1C back. It really jumped really crazy. I'm getting up there in years, and I want to make sure that I'm easy to get around. I don't want to be burdened by medications and seeing doctors. I'd rather be out walking, swimming, doing whatever I like to do. So I don't want to be tied down. All right, enough windbagging with that. How do we start this? Well, rule of thumb, people say, well, you know what? You got to do 20 carbs or less to get this going. All right. 20 carbs or less is very hard to do. To start with, okay, unless you're very sick. There again, I am type 2 diabetic. I'm looking to get my numbers down, rather more interested in that than losing the weight. The weight will come off. That is a no-brainer. Even if you get caught cheating a little bit or eating something you're not supposed to, all right, the weight will still come off. It's your metabolic system that we want to get moving again. All right. The worst thing of all is to get tied into something. Well, I can't have that, and I'm miserable. That's not the right approach. Can you get to 20 carbs or less? Absolutely. And you're going to do that without even knowing, right, that you're doing it. So here's a little trick that I did. So I eat beef. In the beginning, I stay away from any processed foods. So what do I mean by processed foods? I mean dried, cured stuff, salamis, hams, Spam, pork roll, all that stuff, Taylor ham, I should say. Any kind of cold cut, I would stay away from because there is sugars in there and there are some carbohydrates. They're very hard to get yourself weaned off of. Definitely cut yourself out of bread. No bread whatsoever. That's the killer. That's the one thing that you wouldn't realize. Now I'm going to say a couple things here. Now I come from the East Coast, and everybody, all my friends, and everything were Italian, and we would go down to the Jersey Shore and get sausage sandwiches. Okay, it's sausage, peppers, and onions on a nice roll. I tell you what, they're delicious. Well, hour or two later, all of a sudden, got heartburn. Oh my God. That damn sausage, or the sausage was hot, or I got heartburn now, or the peppers and onions. For me, it was the bread. The bread was the culprit all along. Once I stopped the bread, I couldn't believe. Honestly, right now, it's got to be 3 or 4 years now since I've had any kind of heartburn, other than when I cheated a little bit, and that's when it made the distinction. We were out, and you think that you can't eat keto, but you can. A little trick. Eating that hamburger with the bun. So, I got a little bit of heartburn, a little bit of agita, they say. Well, that's because of the bread. Why? I don't know. Like I keep saying, I'm not a doctor, or am I a scientist? But I didn't need to take anything once I went away from the bread. So how do we get started here? Well, A lot of people tell you all different ways, but I use olive oil. I also use butter whenever I prepare chicken or steak, especially with chicken because chicken is very lean. Now, not to get too complicated, but if you eat a lot of lean protein, that's going to raise your blood sugar. So if you're a type 2 diabetic, think about that before you do have your chicken, whatever. That's why if I do chicken parts, leg, thighs, breast, wings, I always leave the skin on because that'll help you a little bit with um, not being so lean, and also the way I cook it. So if I make a chicken cutlet, even if it's skinless, I'll use olive oil and a little bit of butter, or I'll finish it with butter just to help bring that fat factor around. You do need fat. Good clean fat is what I'm talking about. So that's what I use: olive oil, and also avocado oil is really, really, really good, and butter. Now, I would start out with some beef, a little bit of vegetables. All right, my go-to is broccoli, and I'm going to have a little clip here. I'm going to show you how I prepare my broccoli. I buy it in bulk, and I will steam it, and then I'll put it into the freezer, and it's at our beck and call it anytime we need it. So we'll get to that. Now, um, I'm working on the basis of I eat enough for dinner that I am not hungry. I'm killing the cravings as far as being hungry. I can remember back in the day standing in front of the refrigerator, just get done eating, standing, open the refrigerator door, and just looking into the refrigerator to see what was in there for to keep going, because the carbohydrates actually keep you hungry, and the sugar. So the best thing I do is have a nice either you can. People say you can start out with ribeyes. Ribeyes are, I mean, if you're doing it for family, that's a lot of money. So I would get like a New York strip steak. You can even do hamburgers, okay? But I would suggest to you buying, getting a hamburger already done. But be careful of how you shop with that. I try to grind my own, basically from different stuff. But by the way, I'm a retired chef, and not saying that you have to cook the way I cook, but keep it as clean as possible. No labels. If you can go 2 weeks with eating foods that have no labels on it, okay? Pork chops, okay? Chicken. Have it with asparagus. You can have it with broccoli. Peas, you got to be careful. Peas are very high in sugar. Also, like you want to stick to more leafy green type of vegetables if you're going to have vegetables, with your meat and stuff. And in the beginning, I suggest that because that's going to help get you moving here. And I'm going to guarantee you something. In 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to feel unbelievable. But there is one devil that hangs over everybody: the keto flu. Now, what is the keto flu? Well, it is your body making a transformation from burning glucose over to burning fat. It's a fat burning component that your body has ketones in it. It can produce them, no problem. But our way of life right now is that we are making more glucose than we are with ketones. So what happens is some people, that's why they call it the flu. A lot of people feel like they're really sick. They're getting sick. Oh, I shouldn't eat that. Oh, this is not good. Some people have it for a week, 2 weeks. Me personally, I had it for a week, and I just stayed with it. I just let it go. And, and after I was done with the keto flu, the clarity I had, I mean, just felt great. I was so much more energized. Is because now even in my brain, your brain runs really well on glucose, but it actually runs a little bit better in my eyes, a little bit better on ketones. And when you're in ketosis, runs absolutely great. Now, trick number 2: don't don't listen to anybody else that tells you, oh, you need to check your ketones and stuff like that. You don't need to do that. You will know, believe me, when you're burning ketones. Okay, your breath will smell a little bit different. Your urine will smell a little bit different. Okay, but once you get rolling on this method of eating, you're gonna feel. I'm telling you, you're gonna feel so much better. Aches and pains, older folks, aches and pains are gonna go away. I can attest to that. The whole idea is you don't want to do that yo-yoing back and forth. This is where after like 2 or 3 weeks, you want to make sure that you're staying with this. Trick number 3, don't look at the scale. Push the scale away. Don't even look at it. If you're feeling good, that's all you need to know. All right. You're going to lose weight without a doubt. A lot of people say, oh, in the beginning, you just lose water weight. Well, that's weight. I mean, water weight, no matter how you add it up. But then you're going to start burning fat where you're not going to notice it. To the fact where I know some people that lost a ton of weight and, they had stretchy skin and stuff. Well, if you do a little bit more and knowing that you are losing weight, okay, exercise. Now you're starting to feel good where now you can start exercising. And I mean, take a walk, whatever, nothing, you don't have to join a gym or anything. The whole idea is to feel clear and feel good. And what I mean by feeling good is me personally, my blood sugar started dropping. I showed you in that one early video that I had. I was at 258, 260, and then it kept dropping down. And the final result was my blood sugar was back to 100. That in itself was mind blowing to me. That just by eating the right food, okay, just made me feel great. And no other medication. I've been trying this a long time. Not one medication put me in the state of mind that I'm in when I'm full blown keto and feeling great. I mean, it's just there's no other way about it. So, all right, we're going to take a little break right here, but I'm going to show you a little clip about how I prepare or broccoli and stuff like that. So, well, we buy our broccoli in bulk. So this is, I believe, is almost 4 pounds of broccoli we get in the supermarket. And what I'll do is I'll take it. Now, this comes in a bag. It's already cut. But I'll take it. We wash it real good. Put it in a steamer pot. And I steam it until you see that bright, vibrant green right there. Take it out, let it cool. And then I vacuum seal them in portion-sized bags. And they go into the freezer and they're ready for us to cook. Part 2 of Tom's Real Food Podcast is brought to you by pork rind coated chicken with crema, homemade, and also broccoli and cheese. Let's get back to the podcast. All right. Well, I mean, that's the way I do it there. I try to buy as fresh vegetables as I can. Frozen is also well to do. I don't buy too many canned items. They have a really good big selection of frozen vegetables in the store. But there again, even with cheaper cuts of meat, all right, you can buy them and cut them up, make them different ways. Even down the road, I have a lot of videos of how you can make taco shells out of cheese. Just if you want to have a taco, and they're actually really good. But in the beginning, when you first start out doing this, you want to go at least two to 3 weeks, at least 21 days, with no bread, also condiments. Stay away from condiments like ketchup and stuff like that. You got to become a label reader if you are going to go that route. I try to stay away from it. I use salt, pepper. I developed my Tommy spice throughout the years back in the restaurant business, but I use salt, kosher salt or sea salt. All right. I use a tablespoon of that, tablespoon of granulated garlic, granulated onion, and obviously coarse black pepper. Put that in all equal parts. Put that in and start using that. And the reason why I use the coarse part of the salt is, and they're evened up, that is really hard to get a lot of salt out of the shaker. So that's why I use the coarse stuff. So people get worried about salt, but in doing keto, you need some salt in your system because for now, once you start burning ketones, your body now is transforming. What's going on here? All right, glucose takes a back seat, and the ketones take over. Now there is a lot. For every action, there's a reaction, like I said before, and you got to be really careful of who you listen to. There are a few doctors out there. Dr. Ken Berry is one that I might go to. Also, Dr. Eric Westman is the other guy I go to. And Dr. Eric Westman, he runs a clinic in Duke University. So anybody who's going in for the belly band and that's still too overweight to go in and have the surgery, they refer that patient to Dr. Eric Westman, and he puts them on a 20 carb or less ketogenic diet. Okay, and most of them do not go and get the surgery done because they adapt it to the keto life and they don't have to get the surgery, which is a really good thing. So I'm just trying to let everybody know, is there a pitfall? Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, I was like, what in the hell am I doing here with this? I'm getting older. Damn it, why can't I have this? And why can't I have that? Well, twice I fell off the wagon, and twice my health went into the toilet, because I'm telling you, it's what you put here that's doing it to you. Now, if you don't have type 2 diabetes, all right, and you're just looking to lose weight, you can modify what you eat. Now, there is no counting carbs. There's no, the way I do it, there's no counting anything. I eat one solid meal a day, and that carries me over into the next day. Now, for instance, today I had some running around to do, and I had a ham steak last night. All right. Is that a good choice? Well, that's all I had. I had nothing else. It was in the pan with some cinnamon and some butter. And I get up usually in the morning. I don't have nothing until maybe 11 or 12. I might have 2 scrambled eggs and coffee. That's it. So that'll kick my day off. So you're going to hear a lot of stuff about intermittent fasting. And there's a big controversy with that. I don't follow none of that, because here's what I do. I only eat when I'm hungry. When I hear my stomach rumbling or whatever, and I feel a little, I think I need to eat something, that's when I eat. When you first start this and you get that adapted to that way of doing it, don't do it purposely. Don't fast purposely, because you're not going to win. All right. It just your mind's going to take over and say, oh, you know what? You need chips. 3 chips is not going to hurt you. No, that's bullcrap. All that stuff is bullcrap. So you listen to your mind when you're hungry, or you listen to your stomach, actually. So if you're hungry, eat. Okay. And if you get done, finish eating, and you're still hungry, eat again. All right. The whole idea is to get full. Now, I said this in the other 2 podcasts. We want to kill the cravings, number 1. And number 2, learn when your system is full. Learn when you eat enough and you're full and you don't want anything else to eat. I can't eat another thing. That's where you want to be. But you got to understand what you're putting up here. So now, if you have like a nice big steak, or you have a couple hamburgers, cheeseburgers, I mean, fantastic. No bun. Don't put the bun on it. A couple big cheeseburgers. Make your own. Don't buy the frozen ones. Just once you start making your own food, you're going to be a little bit more aware of what you're eating. Okay, so now you can put things in there. You can make. In the beginning, I was making stuffed burgers, and I was stuffing them with mozzarella cheese, okay, provolone, whatever, and stuffing them and eating them that way. Just an idea to keep my mind going that I prepared my own food for how I'm eating now. Same thing with the broccoli. Now, there's a lot of people say, stay away from the vegetables at first. No, I didn't. Okay. I like my vegetables. I really do. Now, there's certain vegetables that I like that I can't have anymore. All right. So, I mean, even like tubers and potatoes, I'm Irish. All right. So you're going to have the potatoes. They were hurting me. They were actually hurting me. So even a sweet potato, you can get away with a sweet potato. Not if you're type 2 diabetic, you can't. Okay. If you're just looking to lose weight, have a half of a potato, quarter of a potato. Start weaning yourself off that, because even if you're not a type 2 diabetic, the sugar and the carbs is going to stall you from getting, losing weight. That's the whole idea if you're looking to lose weight on this. Now, a low carb diet All right. You can turn around and eat the same way. You don't have to have the label as keto. Okay. I like to throw it in people's face because did get a bad rap. I'll go to a restaurant and say, "Hey, I'm keto, so I can't have that and this and that." And they look at you and wait, no potato? No, I'm keto. Oh, French fries? No, that's still a potato. So I mean, you got to take command of your own will of how you're going to do this. Are you going to have challenges? Oh man, you're going to have challenges. Unbelievable. I was dreaming of ice cream. I mean, come on. Okay, let's recap this here before we end this podcast here. Now, um, I think I laid a little bit too much on you at this point, but the whole idea is watch if you can watch this again, and just to get the idea, the clarity of it. Um, what to eat, how to start it, and what to do. Well, you can go about your normal routine. If you're eating 3 meals a day, if you're having eggs and say eggs and yogurt, well, cut the yogurt out. Just have the eggs. Or if you have toast, break away from the toast. The bread is the main culprit, really, and because bread is basically with every type of food that you have, there's some sort of bread that's involved in it. So also cut out like the potatoes and stuff. So you want to eat clean. Now, yeah, potatoes clean. I mean, there's no ingredients. They don't have any labels, but unless it's already prepared stuff, that kind of stuff you want to stay away from. And there again, if it says keto friendly, no, get away from it. Walk away. Walk right away from it. Forget about it. The rule of thumb is they say when you go shopping that you walk the perimeter of the store, and that's the stuff that you want to get to eat. Vegetables. The greener, the better. Stay away from peas, lima beans, and stuff like that, because that they are loaded with sugar. So well, if I have a little bit, it's not. If you're type 2, it's gonna bother you. Believe me. Now, if you're just looking to lose weight, like I keep saying, then you can have just now you're getting into portion control and this and that. Better off not having it at all. This is super clean. What you're doing is you're not starving yourself like any other diet that you go on. You're not really starving yourself. So you can have a steak and salad. Okay. The dressing, like I said, the condiments you got to be careful of. I'm going to come up with a video pretty soon how I make my own homemade mayonnaise. Okay. Very good. You make a little bit of it. You use it for that week, and then the next week you make it again. Rather than buying a big jar of mayonnaise, and if next time you're in a store, take the mayonnaise jar and look at the ingredients. Okay, that'll tell you right off the bat what it is. That's why it can stay on the shelf for years. It's crazy, it really is crazy. Once you learn how to eat, and you start feeling you eat till you're full. Okay, this is where the killing the cravings come in. Because once you're full, guess what? You don't think about food anymore. Well, I'm going to have for a snack later. And snack. When you push away and say, "Whew, man, I am like done," right? That's the point you want to be at. Then there's no more cravings. That's the last thing in your mind is that you're going to want to shove something else into your pie hole and continue to eat. That's where you want to stay away from it, and that's a good thing. The keto flu. Now, some people get it, some people don't. I welcomed it because then I knew right off the bat that I was doing the right thing. Okay. I know people that did it that really got sick from it. So they say they did, but it'll pass also. But I'm telling you, on the other side of the keto flu, boy, I tell you one thing: you feel fantastic. Is the way to go with it. And like I said, people say, well, you got to get the meter or stick your finger to see if you can get doses. You will know. Okay. The whole idea about doing this is not to waste money. If you want to know what type of food has high carbs in it, Google it. You got a phone? Hit Google. Hey, how many carbs are in a sweet potato? Hey, it's going to tell you, 35 to 40, whatever the number is. And then you can't have that. That's the easy way. There's all kinds of gimmicks out there to sell apps to do this, to count carbs, the whole 9 yards. Here's the other thing that gets me. They actually burned my butt when I found out a lot of people were doing. At one point, people with type 2 diabetes and type 1 diabetes were having a hard time getting glucose monitors, continuous glucose monitors, or even just the test strips, right? Because people who didn't have type 2 diabetes were buying these things and using them, okay, to see what foods affected them. Well, you know what? A guy like me who struggled with high blood sugar levels, I couldn't get test strips. Okay, and then when I asked about the continuous, oh no, there's a shortage of them, or you're gonna have to pay a lot of money for it. So that sort of burned my butt a little bit about people using this that didn't really need it, or just doing it for vanity type of thing. I mean, come on. So anyway, like I said again, try to stay away from the keto friendly stuff. This is where the cravings come in, and well, look, they have keto chocolate chip cookies. No, they don't. No, there's no such thing. And then if you do get into that area where you're starting making keto breads and stuff like that, it's going to cost you a ton of money to make one little stupid loaf. Okay, that's not going to do you any good. It's actually going to hurt you in the long run. But you're going to spend a ton of money on buying ingredients that you don't need. Almond flour, we discussed that. Coconut flour, xanthan gum, all this powdered crap that you don't need in your system to begin with. All right, just get it out of your mind. Like I said, if you do need a sandwich, you can make chaffles. I'm going to do one on chaffles too. But my whole point, if you're starting keto off now, you don't need to be doing that stuff right now. You need to work on number one, start cooking for yourself. Know what you're putting in. It's not hard. It's not hard to do. And in ordering from a restaurant, okay, or a fast food place, and I know a couple places now have lettuce wrapped burgers and stuff like that. That's okay, but why pay them extra money for that? Make it yourself. Go into a supermarket, get yourself a nice pack of ground meat, ground beef. They have 70-30, 80-20. I like the 80-20 because I like the fat content in it to begin with. Much better flavor, and that's me because I used to cook for a living. Yeah, so give it a try. You have nothing to lose. If you feel it's too overwhelming, step out of this. I always say step out of the circle, see what the problem was, and then jump back in again. Because I'm telling you, I'm giving you my right hand to God right here. That this stuff really took me out of the woods. It took me from a bad place, and here I am. Like I said, growing this because I jumped off the wagon, following these rabbit holes, and I knew better. That was the problem. I knew better, but maybe it's something. As you get older, you start double thinking yourself here. Well, maybe let me try it. They could be right. All right? No, they're wrong. They're flat out. Go with your first instinct. No, they were dead wrong. So I'm hoping everybody's going to latch on to this to these podcasts and go back and watch some of my videos. I do have 870 some of them. I have everything I do is clean. When I say clean eating, if one or two videos I did with with egg life wraps, that's a processed food that I was using for making up spaghetti. I was trying to mimic spaghetti and stuff like that. And see, there again, it's a mindset. Did I really need it? All right, $7 for, I think there was 6 egg life wraps in this thing for $7. All right, really? Come on. Because I felt like having pasta or mimicking pasta. I turned to spaghetti squash a lot more healthier for you. Number one, and you still getting the vegetable in there. Carbs, less carbs than the egg life wraps, especially the flavored ones. This is where they get you. You buy the plain one first, and then you have the flavored ones, okay, which are more money. And that's how they get you back on. Once you start eating stuff that mimics, the food that was bad for us, all right, there's no reason. I've seen people making. I even did it. I took jicama root and tried to make French fries. It's not French fries. I'm sorry. You're frying jicama fruit, for crying out loud. I look at it this way: if I make something and there's no potato with it, or have a little, I'll make up a name for it, okay, and I'll carry it on to the next video, whatever. That's how I did it, not trying to mimic anything, and that's another bad thing to do. That's why people try to make. You see some of these videos, and I just made keto bread. No, you didn't. You spent a lot of money. You wasted your time on something that's not going to help you. So there it is. Like I said, recap: one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. Kill the cravings. Eat until you're full. There again, that's part of the game right there. Once you know you're full, like I said, if you have a steak and a nice green salad, make your own dressing, oil and vinegar. That's all you need. Oil and apple cider vinegar is very good. All right. Red wine vinegar is also good. So you want to start. That's when you start knowing how you're cutting the carbs down. You're cutting them down, but you're walking away super full. That's it. All right, listen, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I am Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook, also Tom's Real Food Podcast. I had pretty good response from it. I'm going to thank everybody for watching, all the comments and stuff that was left there. And this is podcast number 3. I'm looking forward to podcast number 4, where I'm going to show you how to do make some mayonnaise and some little tricks here and there to help you get through this. All right, stick with me. If you like this, leave a comment. If you have questions, leave a comment. I'll get right back to you. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you next time.